Call this meeting to order. It is 6:04. Thank you, everybody. All right. Ms. Goodman, please let the record reflect that all members are present. Everyone, please stand and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. Vice President Del Palacio will read the land acknowledgement statement.
Okay, the Tolleson Union High School District serves 14,000 students with 15 indigenous communities represented throughout our 7 high schools. The Tolleson Union High School District Governing Board would like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of this land, Akamil Atampima and Peepash Maricopa peoples, and pay our respects to their elders past, present, and emerging. We recognize their enduring connection to this land, their rich culture and language, and the invaluable contributions they have made and continue to make in our community. As we gather today, for our Tolleson Union High School District Governing Board meeting, let us remember the significance of these lands and honor the legacy of the original stewards of this territory.
Thank you for that. I will make a motion to approve the regular agenda. Do I have a second?
Second?
Thank you. All right. Member Luna-Nahara.
No.
Member Sun.
No.
Member Ortega-Romero.
Yes.
Member Vice President Del Palacio.
Yes.
And I vote yes. Motion carries. All right. Well, welcome everyone. Happy New Year. Welcome to the first board meeting of the school year for 2026 for Tolleson Union High School District. Of course, we're going to start off with some celebrations here. I will turn it over to Superintendent to start with our first one for the proclamation, and then we will go to La Joya.
Yes, so it is Governing Board Recognition Month. So I'd like to read this proclamation. Tolleson Union High School District Governing Board Recognition Month, whereas school board members are elected to sit in trust for their diverse communities and in that capacity are charged with meeting the community's expectations and aspirations for the public education of their students. And whereas school board members are entrusted with the guardianship and wise expenditure of scarce tax dollars, and they are responsible for maintaining and preserving the buildings, grounds, and other areas of the school district that the community has put in their trust. And whereas school board members are responsible for providing leadership that ensures a clear, shared vision of public education for their schools, that sets high standards for the education of all students, and requires the effective and efficient operation of their districts. And whereas school board members adopt policies to give voice to that leadership and employ a superintendent to administer board policy, and are also responsible for the regular monitoring of the district's performance and compliance with policies. And whereas the board members elected to school board positions deserve recognition and thanks for their countless hours of volunteer service to public education and the students of our state. Now, therefore, I, Jeremy Kaya, Superintendent of the Tolleson Union High School District number 214, do hereby declare my appreciation to the members of the Tolleson Union High School District Governing Board and proclaim the month of January 2026 as School Board Recognition Month in the Tolleson Union High School District number 214. I urge all citizens to join me in recognizing the dedication and hard work of local school board members and in working with them to mold an education system that meets the needs of both today and tomorrow's students. In official recognition whereof, I hereby affix my signature this 13th day of January 2026. So happy board member recognition.
Thank you. All right. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, Superintendent Calles. We will jump to our second celebration, the first of our schools for this part of the year. Welcome up Dr. Bill Sorensen, the principal of La Joya Community High School. Welcome.
I can tell you all three of those individuals could be principals tomorrow. So I am so blessed, and they teach me so much every single day and just carry me every day. So luckily enough, we took a picture on matching day. So we all had kind of matching gear on, took our picture, just an amazing team of educators. They are in our Friday morning meetings. They give us every perspective from teacher mentor to APD to assistant principal instruction to flex coordinator, and all of those individuals just really help make a comprehensive high school run. And I know we would not be where we're at without those beautiful human beings. Everyone who's been to La Jolla Community High School is aware, if you've ever been in the principal's conference room, we track our classroom visits. So this year, if we all hit our goal, we'll be in over 2,165 classroom visits. Right now, we're sitting at 729. I can tell you I'm only at 35% of my goal, so I need to get some work. But what I can tell you, if you are a community member of La Jolla and you're watching on YouTube or you're in this boardroom, I can guarantee you educational leaders get in classrooms. So we will not lead in our inbox. We will not stay in our offices. We are out and about, and we are in classrooms. Come swing by the principal's conference room anytime, and I'll show you exactly where we are with that. Kind of leaning into that, you can see a classroom visit counts if you give feedback. That's our feedback form. As you can see, over the years, we've been, 1,200 classrooms last year, 1,300 the year before. This year, hopefully, we'll be around that 1,200 mark again. Something new this year that I've only asked administrators to do is if you're in a classroom and if you see that students are using earbuds, we ask that you record that, and that's a tight expectation. I know as a district, we've got the cell phone lockers, that's a tight expectation, but earbuds is something that we realized about 3 years ago that was impeding learning. So we do use that, we do hold people accountable for it, but one thing that's nice, 293 classroom visits, if you got 25 kids per class and you're saying 26 out of those numbers, it's like less than 1%. So less than 1% of our kids are in earbuds when we're in classrooms, which is really assuring to see. Something that I'm kind of playing with this year is making positive phone call homes and tracking them. I know other schools have done it like staff-wide. I want to see if it scales out to see how many I can get, then maybe ask my administration to make those calls too. Those positive phone calls are far more fulfilling for the person giving it than receiving it. It feels so good to make calls because, as I say almost every day, adolescents get a bad rap. Adolescents are amazing. Our teenagers can do amazing things, and it's so awesome to call and make a positive phone call home to those guardians at home. Speaking of positive, that brings us to our classified employee of the year, Miss Brenda Castaneda. I'm going to wait you out, Brenda. I know you don't like this. I know you don't like being up here. I know you don't really like me very much, but it's a trifecta, so you get to come over here and be recognized, please. I gave all the students advice. You'll probably never get to do this again, so although it's kind of awkward, like enjoy the moment. I don't know how many times you'll be up here, but you're an amazing human being. I'd like to just kind of read some of the things that people wrote about you. Brenda works hard year-round at La Jolla. She always has a smile while doing a great job. Ms. Castaneda does so much for our school, teachers, students. I feel that not many staff members know who she is or what she does, since a lot of her work is done on the back end, which is totally true. She is one of those people working hard, making sure our practices are efficient, but she's usually on the back side of the house. She's always willing to help, even if it's not her area. She's great with parents and students. She has been here for 8 years, and I think she definitely deserves this award. Works behind the scenes to run the registration department, friendly to parents and staff, kind of friendly to the principal, finds ways to connect with kids in positive ways. I love giving her a hard time. She is just an efficient worker. She's an incredible leader back there in that group. And I know all the people that came to support her know her value, and we're just so grateful to her. And I know I'm grateful every day I get to work with her. So let's all take a moment to celebrate Brenda Castaneda. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Next up, I show this slide. I've been showing this slide for, I don't know if this is my 4th year as principal, but every year we show this. This is something that we track and measure. This just kind of shows where we are in regard to the metrics that go into our school label. The most significant thing I can tell you on that slide that I've never seen in my 21 years in education is ACT proficiency go up 3 years in a row. And when you're talking about ACT proficiency, you're talking about different cohorts of kids all scoring high on this test. You can see we're getting almost 19 out of 20 in growth. Our CCRI, which we'll talk about with our certified staff member of the year, they did a lot of work there, has jumped up. That was a central focus. In our admin retreat, I think we were one of the lowest schools, so that's definitely on our radar. Did a lot of work to raise that up to 17.1, getting all of our grad points, and our EL department is amazing. So we did accomplish something for the first time in our 23-year school history, and we made it by 3.77 points. So we'll talk about what the future brings, but definitely something we are very proud of, and you know that I'm repping at all the times with my A shirt. Moving on, Guiding Coalition, I'd like to just give a recognition. Anyone from La Jolla, and if you're here, will you please stand up? Anyone from La Jolla, please stand up. People know that I've been drinking the PLC Kool-Aid forever. One thing that I know is that teacher leaders are far more valuable than a principal or any administrator. When you are doing the deep work of the PLC process, and it's easy to make principals maybe out to be the bad guy or bad girl. They don't know what it's like to be in the classroom. They're making us do this. But when you have a teacher side by side with them, working with them, saying, try these new things, that is so impactful. And the motion and the movement of our school towards being an A and towards we want to become are strictly due to the teacher leaders that impact not teaching, but student learning and that focus on learning. So I'm so grateful to those educators that are part of the Guiding Coalition. We're adding new members every year. We go to the PLC Summit and we meet once about every 6 weeks to do some very deep work, and they're just amazing human beings. Speaking of amazing human beings, next up is Certified Employee of the Year, Paula Michelle Oxford. As we all know, we have the best Oxford at La Jolla. I always got to dig on Bo. I think I'm jealous of his hair. I think that's why I'm always giving him a hard time. But Paula Oxford is absolutely amazing. I'll just read what people wrote about her. Paula has done a tremendous job with the guidance department. The guidance department has developed various programs to help support student success. Her guidance has created an environment of collaboration and camaraderie, consistently trying to bring resources and reps to our students, trying to connect them with services and opportunities every week of the month, the quarter of the semester. Paula is a great counselor for our Lobos. She works so hard to get our students to the finish line. I think Paul and I have discussions. We're almost aligned in philosophically. But this woman is an absolute dog. You give her something, you tell her something from CCRI, she's on it. She is chomping at me saying, Bill, when are we going to meet again? When are we going to talk about it? And just an absolute dynamo, someone who's led our guidance department, and someone who I think is trying to actually get rid of that guidance so she can work only with freshmen. So to give up that guidance and to mentor others and lead that department and do just the amazing things and the number of kid touches that she has with our flex, just an amazing human being once again, who is far greater than me, who I'm just so grateful to work with every day. So I'll give it up to Paula Oxford, please. Just to report out, we have 2 school goals at La Jolla. One is a high-stakes assessment goal. Well, professional learning teams pick the high-stakes assessment they're focusing on, and each team has to set a process goal. So that process goal is either somehow related to the PLC process, whether it be unit planning or using that data protocol, and we review these 2 goals every quarter with our staff to monitor and track progress. Monitoring and tracking that progress, there's a difference between teaching and presenting. In my eyes, if you are teaching something, you must assess it. So if we as leaders are teaching teachers, then we must assess their learning. And if we are educators, we must continue to learn ourselves. So on August 21st, I delivered a professional development on creating a process goal. As you can see, my success rate was not very high because 4 out of 45 teams were proficient. So what do we do if you're a teacher and your students don't learn it? You got to re-engage and you reteach. So we did a re-engagement and a reteach based on the data we had. In September 22nd, 41 out of 45 teams were proficient. And as you can see, on December 11th, those are all the things that those teams are working on, whether it's identifying essential learning, flex plans, unit planning, proficiency scales, all of those kinds of things directly relate to that PLC process. As far as using the data protocol, on September 22nd, 11 out of 41 teams were partially proficient. We just had teams resubmit on January 7th. We have our next guiding coalition meeting tomorrow after school where we look at those data protocols to give each team timely feedback from peers, so that way those teams can react to that feedback and continue to learn. And we're in education. And I know our teachers expect our students to learn. So we should expect our teachers to learn. And I know that our teachers do believe in that and push each other to continue to learn and grow. I know I do. I go to conferences. I'm always learning because there is just so much to learn in this ever-changing world. Lobo Flex time, I just kind of report on that a little bit. Quickly, Flex is something new for us. I can tell you 91% of our students felt that Flex was working. We gave a survey in late September, early October. About 66, 2/3 of our staff felt Flex was working well. 3/4 of our staff felt that like the expectations and communication was effective. The concept of increasing Flex days in September and October, there wasn't much momentum to move towards 4 days, but I can tell you there are members of our guiding coalition that's pushing me to move to 4 days. So we'll see what that looks like. When we surveyed students definitely want to have the option to choose their own session. We'd love to get there eventually, but we're not there yet. So the idea of Flex is, you'll see here next, something I'm very proud of is that we're averaging every Flex or every week, 85% of our kids are scheduled. So if kids aren't scheduled by teachers, that means you have to auto-enroll them or manually schedule them. And I was really worried, right? You teach teachers something, I think, are they gonna revolt? Like they're not gonna do what I asked them to do. But those are baseless fears because we work with some amazing professionals, and that means 85% of our kids are intentionally scheduled by their teachers to either reteach, re-engage, or do an extension. So you're talking about 20,672 touch points of kids getting some remediation or intervention with this Flex period. So I really appreciate the ability for principals to be able to run it, they want to run it, the ability for us to, like, it's an iterative process, who knows where this is going to go, but so far our data from surveys and looking at schedules looks pretty good with our Flex. That brings us up to our female student of the year, Embrielle Gallegos. You get to stand up here next to us, right? Be celebrated, right? You might as well just enjoy the moment. I know it's weird and awkward and whatever, but just enjoy it, right? Yes. So, as she looks at me like, I can't believe this guy's my principal, I will go ahead and read what things said about her. Embrielle is a dedicated student, consistently putting in the hard work and effort required to excel in her studies. Not only has Embrielle been committed to her own academic success, but she has also done an amazing job in supporting and motivating her peers with their future career ideas. Her willingness to share her insights and encourage others is truly inspiring. She's presented to students to support current and high school choices, which I'll talk to her in a second. Embrielle is not only finishing her classes and her diploma, including juggling AP courses, but is also a student at Westmec for coding. She has been a mentor for juniors taking their PSAT. Embrielle had realized she took the PSAT and she had emailed me and said, hey, Dr. Sorensen, there are a number of opportunities that I didn't realize as a student that I really want to share with other students. So I had reached out to Miss Oxford. I'm like, how are we going to do this? I don't know. Kids presenting aren't always the greatest. I don't know how we're going to do this. But Embrielle kept pushing and pushing. I wasn't at the presentation, but every adult said she absolutely killed it. And you're talking about a high school student who sees something that she didn't know. And instead of like crying foul and going, this is outrageous, you should have done better, she goes, how can I turn this into creating value to our community? And who knows how much value she added to those other kids listening to a student present to other students in the amazing way that she did. So for that, Embrielle will always stick out of my mind and always someone that I know is just going to be doing amazing things in the future. So if you please help me in celebrating Embrielle Gallegos, let's give it up one more time. Credit recovery is something new for us, a new model this year. Right now, at the end of December, we're at 14 credits less than we were last year. Don't panic yet because we have less kids that need credit recovery, so yay. We know that the best tier 1 instruction is the best credit recovery we can have. Last year, we needed to get 679.5 credits. This year, we're 625 short. We were 37% of our seniors who are not on track. This year, we're 34%. If you were to take the averages of the class of 2020 through 2024, we were averaging 50% of our seniors went into senior year behind, not on track to graduate. And our mission is post-secondary success. I know it's graduation, and I know we're doing all these things for our seniors. It's critically important for our seniors to be in a good position to graduate, so that way they're not spending their senior year only worrying about graduation, but they can start worrying about what comes next. So I think that is reassuring to us that it seems like every year we get less and less of our seniors who are behind in credits. We still get a number of seniors who haven't been with us who are behind, which we welcome and will love, but that is reassuring to us knowing that more of our kids are on track more of the time. A freshman credit recovery program that we're kind of tooling with is we offer our freshmen, teachers can recommend freshmen in our core classes to do an after-school program with teachers to try to fill in some gaps. Last year, only 19 out of 63 students attained that half credit through the after-school program. It started on Monday for us this year, and I think we're at like 18 out of 50. So that's something we're tooling with and thinking about on how we can do this better. I know some other schools are doing some amazing things, so I want to learn more from other principals on just creative ways that we can recoup that learning through different ways. So that's just a report out of something that I think is a big area of growth for us at La Joya. I would be remiss if I didn't also celebrate our athletic championships. What you can see is that last year we won 6 championships. The highlighted ones are ones that we had never won in the history of our school. 23 years. Last year was the first time we won region championship in baseball, region championship in softball, our Region Valley region championships this year in volleyball. I want to give a thank you to our district and Mr. Tolleson for allowing us to do district championships. As I still coach, I've been a part of a state championship football coaching staff, and I've been part of an 0-10 CCV rec league. And what I can tell you is every championship is special. So the fact that we can celebrate that and celebrate our kids with our coaches is amazing. We know that winning is important, and the more you win, the more participation you're going to have. And I also want to highlight that bottom picture kind of shows you our banners in our gym. We also hung our A-rated banner, so if people come into our gym and they think sports, they also know that academics and high levels of learning is our top priority. That brings us to our male student of the year, Jesus Rodriguez Rios. Please welcome him. Just another student who willingly, but probably reluctantly is walking up here, right? You might as well enjoy this, yes? Yeah, take a deep breath. It's never going to happen again in your life, so you might as well enjoy it while I read about you. Jesus has impressed me with his humor, hard work, and drive for knowledge. I first met Jesus during summer school where he was working ahead to get some of his senior classes out of the way. So my understanding is you took government in summer school to get ahead, yes? He has high ambition. So what does he do? He realizes that maybe on-level government over summer doesn't support my track for the future. So what does he do? Signs up for AP government, one of the most rigorous courses that we have, and our AP government teacher was just singing his praises. And again, adolescents are underrated. And when you talk about these young people and the amazing things that they can do, it's just absolutely phenomenal. Jesus has truly excelled in making our guidance office a welcoming space for everyone. His support and willingness to share his insights and encourage others is truly inspiring. He is also instrumental in organizing and assisting with numerous events and tasks. We are fortunate to have such a committed and passionate individual on our campus. I have been able to see his dedicating career and determined attitude as a student assistant for counseling, and we know we can rely on him. So when you see students with incredible academic acumen and you see them walking kids around and able to interact interpersonally, those are just an amazing dynamic of skill sets that's going to carry our kids to a bright future regardless of how things change. So please help me in recognizing Jesus Rodriguez Rios as the male student of the year. Congratulations. Finally, I just want to highlight a couple events that we do for community. We're all human beings first. We got to love each other first. Everyone belongs. I just want to give a shout out to EV, which is one of our feeder elementary schools. If you look at that HOCO parade, they brought their entire school for our HOCO parade, just lined Durango and 107th Avenue. And it's just so awesome when you see elementary schools making positive connections before they end up being a Lobo. Trunk or Treat was very successful. Our 9/11 event that we've tied to post-secondary success and learning from our first responders was also an amazing event. I just wanted to shout out to those people and those individuals who put hard work into putting those community events together. So what's next for La Jolla? I don't know why that's grayed out, but A rating should be the norm. We know, thank you very much to the governing board and district. We're being an IB World School. We'll offer our first MYP coursework next year. We'll do our DP coursework in 27-28, so by then we'll be a full-fledged IB World School. We're talking about going for A+ School of Excellence. We're thinking 27-28. We do want to become a model PLC school. I think we're in that spot where we could leverage that. And then I'm curious on who's going to be our first team state championship, because it's going to happen, because there is no stopping our Lobos. La Jolla is going to be the perennial high school in the West Valley, the state, the nation, and the world, and there's no stopping us. So with that, I say questions.
Not enough energy, I think. No. Again, always great to hear you present, Dr. Sorensen. A great representative for the La Jolla community, the Lobos. Just want to say congratulations to our staff members and students of the year. Well done representing Lobos, representing our district. We celebrated you, but I know some of you have your parents, family, spouses. If you could please stand up and also be recognized, we appreciate your support. Because you're all part of the Lobo family too, so we definitely appreciate your support. Thank you to everyone from La Jolla Community High School for coming out this evening. Congratulations once again on the A. I know we did a quick celebration last semester when it was awarded, but it's a huge, tremendous honor, and I appreciate all the work that every single one of you put into getting that. I love the standard of now that's the norm. I look forward to the work and successes that continue throughout this school year and what's to come. And I will turn it over to my colleagues, Mr. Ortega Romero. I believe you went to La Jolla.
Go Lobos.
Yes, go Lobos. Enjoy, just listening to the great things that La Jolla is doing. Always carry in my heart, once Lobo, always Lobo. And, congratulations to the staff and students of the year. Obviously, a huge recognition. It really does happen only once in your life, and it may not even happen to everybody, obviously. Could not be more happy of an A school. I mean, it shows like the hard work that has gone into this, and also, you listening to you speak about the school, I could just tell like the culture is there, and that's obviously really important when you want to build any type of success. I think it's a fundamental pillar for that. So, thank you to you and your team for everything that you guys are doing, especially because, clearly it's being paid off with the excellent students that are, attending La Jolla and doing great things after that. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Members. Anything you'd like to say?
I'm so sorry. I thought you said Del Blasio.
Oh.
My mistake. First of all, I just love the diversity of your campus and how you present it before us. The nuance and what makes your campus you and your staffs and the students, and especially their family that chose our district to send their, most precious, individual and their family. Being a parent myself, and one of 5 boards here, and with 7 campuses, we don't like to pick favorites. And And that's a good thing because now we're seeing the diversity of it, and now we're seeing it within.
But La Jolla is your
Okay.
favorite?
I'm gonna let Mikhail answer that. I mean, yeah, let's just put it like one board member at a time. So as a board member, our job is the stewardship of the taxpayers' money and to make sure that that's properly, divvied up and whatnot. In your perspective, this is just a question for you. With the English learners, I know that your campus doesn't really have as high of enrollment. And based on the previous year versus this year, would you see there's a drop? And could you just give me a percentage, not necessarily the numbers?
I thought our EL population had grown this year from last year. I actually thought we had more because we actually had to add some FTEs to help meet those needs. So I think our EL population is actually growing this year from last year.
Okay, because the numbers we were given as a district, so now I'm asking you as a campus,
as a
but
di-
it's
oh,
okay.
okay.
If you think it's more, that's great. Because we want to encourage all students to come back to our campus. And we want, enrollment to increase with our freshmen. Could you tell me your enrollment for the freshman class versus the previous year?
I think we've been growing. So I think we were 2 years ago. I think we were like 520, and we're in the high 500s right now. I'm looking at Mr. Junk or Miss Oxford. I think our freshman class is in the high 500s. I'll put them on the spot since you put me in the spot. 583. See, that's why way better than I am. Surround yourself with good people, right? Yeah. So I think we'll continue to grow. I mean, it's just an interesting dynamic with the world and how
Exactly, and that's
expensive
what- yeah.
houses are and are people moving in and all those dynamics that I'm not an expert in. But I mean, what I can tell you is, why wouldn't you want to go to La Jolla? So all the work that we're doing, all of the 8th grade charter schools that we're visiting, and the number of schools that we get from Highland Prep, that I say, tell all your homies it's way better here, and they go, yeah, it is, mister. And then I see more trickle in. I mean, I think the sky's the limit for us in enrollment and academic achievement.
I agree with you. In fact, after this presentation, I want to enroll. Like, it's just
Come
I
on
want
over, we'll take 'em all.
I want to enroll. But I think I will be denied with admission, which is fair. It's not really first come first serve. We got to serve our community. I think my concern moving forward, it's shared with what you shared in your presentation. Is that maintaining the excellence and to grow. And I love seeing that enthusiasm and that commitment. We can't buy that. We wish we can bottle that up and sell it elsewhere. But, that's a great thing that I want you guys to continue to have. And we encourage you where you feel if something is not fully supported in any way, it doesn't have to be a fiscal resource. It could be anything. We want you guys to have an open book with us and to come before to express concerns and see how we can support you. What we don't want to happen is, react too late or to ask support too late. And we don't think that will be a problem with you as the principal of this particular campus, but we just want to reiterate to let you know that we're here for you and your staff and ultimately the students. Does that make sense?
It sure does. If you've ever been to a principal meeting, I'm not scared to be a squeaky wheel, so I feel fully comfortable expressing concerns that I have, so thank you.
And sometimes we don't really receive all that. So coming before the board in meetings and whatnot, it's an open door policy. Just going through the ratings and the components of it. You said that you guys did go slightly a point 0.1 with the ACT growth. What's the remedy moving forward?
Well, the remedy, I mean, I think the answer is going to be probably the same. If you're asking me, Bill, how do we increase student learning? And I'm going to tell you it's the commitment to the PLC process. So we know that those growth numbers, I mean, we're almost maxed out, 18.99 out of 20. Or 18.89. I'll be curious to see what that looks like, but it's about many of our teams have set ACT high stakes assessment goals that we revisit. I mean, it's about the collaboration, it's about the essential learning and everything that goes into that collaboration. Probably going to be my answer to everything, Board Member Sun, in regard to how you increase achievement, PLC process, and commitment to that.
So Bill,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm no expert. You are. And I love the fact that you have these standards that are so high because I don't think we can even come up with these standards. Very well done. These questions we're asking is to help you to move, in the direction that your campus needs to maintain that letter A, and to say that you guys now want to be the A plus, and what you have put down here to share with us how you want to go even higher. Again, we can't buy that. It's like we can't put a dollar sign to that, and we're just very fortunate for all the great leadership among all the principals across all of our campuses. Well done. Thank you.
Thank you.
Vice President Del Palacio.
Yeah, Dr. Sorensen, thank you for the presentation. It's impressive just to take a look at the ACT proficiency and the tremendous wins we've had over the last 4 years. And what I want really everyone to understand is that we do talk a lot about data. Data is important with regards to making informed decisions. But behind those numbers is a student. Behind those numbers are teachers and staff members who bust their hump all day, to ensure our kids can reach their fullest potential. And it's evident that what's happening at La Jolla's campus with the phone calls, the class visits, the POCs, the continued just development of culture and excellence is paying off. It's not an easy road to get to an A rating, right? But obviously what you're doing there is really working. But what I want folks to understand is that these students bust their hump. And our students are intelligent, talented. I know firsthand, I've attended theater plays, most recently the Grease play, which was awesome. So you have a phenomenal theater play. And I saw you in the crowd. I saw other staff in the crowd. So everyone's bought into it and supporting the kids. 7 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night. I mean, really, you're there. You guys live there, obviously, just like everyone. Not only that, but athletics. 6 regional championships. Again, not an easy feat. So you're talking about athletics, excelling in student achievement, and culture. The Lobo Fest, I also attended that too. That's one of my favorite things that happens on campus. The Lobo Fest is awesome. It's always a positive event. Kids all have a great time. A lot of positivity happening. A lot of folks, getting wet, and it's a fun time. And so, again, I really do want to just highlight the effort it takes to develop such a campus, and the results are right here, right in front of us. I do want to also acknowledge Brenda and Paula. Thank you all for all you do with lending us your talents to help our kids develop, and of course, Ambrielle and Jesus, for all of your hard work in the classroom. But what I think is really cool, what you guys are doing, is you're mentoring other students. That's awesome. A lot of your peers don't want to hear from us. They want to hear from you all. It was not a better example than hearing from their peers on how to get stuff done. Ambrielle, I'm glad you're taking advantage of our partnership with WestMec and learning coding and getting a certificate in coding. That's tremendous. You're not going to just graduate with a high school diploma, but you're also going to leave with the coding certificate. So anyway, I can go on and on about what you've shared here tonight. But more importantly, again, just want to thank you all for your efforts. So please, everyone, give another big round of applause for La Jolla High School.
Thank you, Dr. Sorensen. Thank you to our Lobo community. We do have a couple more people to celebrate in our superintendent's reports. We're going to do that real quick, a couple minutes, and then we're going to cut to a break. We have cookies over there. I see some kids that might enjoy those, including some of the folks up here. So I'll throw it to our superintendent, then we'll take a quick break after that.
All right, thank you, President Chapman, members of the board. First, want to celebrate all of our schools for their push on FAFSA and getting their FAFSA applications completed. You can see the chart right there, the nice little dashboard. UHI, Tolleson doing a great job. But across the board, we see our numbers skyrocketing. So great job to all of our schools for getting those FAFSA applications done and getting us past that 50% completion rate. Over the holidays, we also had West Valley View running a story on our district angel tree, and you can see our district receptionist, Angela, is in the picture with all the presents that were posted in there. We want to give a special thanks to a local logistics company that helped us out this year, Geodis, joined TUHSD to help fulfill even more angels and help us get those gifts out to all those students. So great job to everybody who was involved in that process. Also at the ASBA conference last month, alongside Dr. Lagunas Quatley and Oscar Gironi, I was presenting on our commitment day. We have other districts that want to learn about our commitment day. We have other districts that are thinking about joining us at State Farm Stadium to also provide a commitment day event for their students. So, we're getting into our third year of commitment day, and now we're seeing other districts wanting to join in on that. So it was a great presentation. We got to answer their questions. And Copper Canyon senior Jeremiah Adams Curry was recognized by the Arizona Cardinals as a Defensive Player of the Year in high school football. I don't know if Jeremiah made it out tonight. No? Okay, Bo. I saw Bo's head nodding. This award was only given to one player this season, regardless of school size or division, meaning Jeremiah was voted as the #1 high school defensive player in the state of Arizona. Jeremiah was tied for third in the nation in sacks this year, and we are very proud of his accomplishment. Now, I do believe we do have this student here. At West Point, Malik Harden was also recognized by the Cardinals. So Malik, come on down. And Justina, if you can join him. Justina, come on up with him. So we'd like to recognize Malik Harden, who was recognized by the Cardinals and chosen as the Heart of a Champion Unified Player of the Year. He assisted the school's unified flag football team in winning the state championship game last month right there in front of State Farm Stadium. So big congratulations out to Malik. All right, and then our last recognition is for our students at Copper Canyon who formed a food pantry last semester to help out other students and families in need. The students named it Canyon Corner, a fully student-run pantry offering free food and essentials to any classmate who needs it. And it even caught the attention of ABC 15, who came out to cover the story and interviewed our students to learn more. And those are just some of the highlights since our last board meeting.
Thank you, Superintendent Calles. As I promised before, we got some cookies over there, so we'll take a quick 5-minute break. Thank you for everyone that's come out tonight and been celebrated. Congratulations, and enjoy some cookies.
There's a new weapon on the market.
Yeah, it's so powerful it can take out more than one person at the same time, and you never have to reload. It can get past security.
I heard it was so small that it can fit in your pocket. No way my parents will find out about this.
I heard it could strike at the touch of a button.
Report, don't repost.
Stop social media threats now.
It's never a joke.
benefits of unified sports are social participation and the exposure to new activities, things that they might not have had otherwise had opportunities to participate in.
When we build our equipment and our kids who can't typically participate are able to do something independently, the joy that they get from doing that activity for the first time is incredible.
I didn't really like playing in front of people in the beginning because I thought I wasn't good at it. And then once I got used to playing in front of people, I got a little bit out of my shell. And now I'm comfortable playing with other people.
I learned that I need to be confident.
Confident.
Oh, you want to be more confident?
Yeah.
You learn to be more confident?
Special Olympics has had such an impact on the Arizona community as a whole because we are really focused on community for all. It doesn't matter what kind of situation you're in, what is your disability, we are really here for everybody, making life happen for everybody, making fun happen for everybody, because sports are fun.
We've been playing like different kind of sports like volleyball, and we played this one game. It's called that. We wear these like uniforms and stuff like that. Like we ever had the ball, you stop, and we drove it to our teammate. Now we just actually legit play badminton day. I've been training super hard that day.
Funnest, most happiest people I've ever seen in my life. It's just every day is just they have that positivity that can spread everywhere, like it's contagious.
Unified sports benefits students with and without disabilities in just so many ways. You see them come into the class at the beginning of the year and they're very shy, not very aware of how to act or behave, and then you just see these relationships blossom and then grow, and they truly do become like a team, and they're super close, super tight, and our students really do show really great examples of this throughout competitions, is really supporting those that do have disabilities and just having those friendships and building that support and having that support for one another.
I really enjoy dancing because I learned that when the first time I danced, I was shy, but then I realized that dancing can be not just about dancing, it can be about making memorable memories.
During these past few months of the year when we started, I feel that the most memorable moment is when we all started playing, not knowing what we were doing, but we still figured it out in front of everyone.
We love everything unified, bringing people together, athletes, partners, giving them that normal experience of a team. And as a district, we came together and said, let's plan these events, district events.
At first I was coming into it not knowing what to expect. And I feel like that's most cases for like things that you haven't tried before. But I definitely feel that I've grown so much with it, I've learned a lot, and it's something that I want to do more with. Like I want to be a part of my future.
I think that you can look at the footage of students and see the smiles on their faces and know that what Unified Sports is offering those students in general is a great deal of independence, success, and joy. I think you can look at any single player and be like, this program is making a difference.
I think the partners too, like
for sure,
they get really excited to learn about our switch stuff and all the equipment we use, and then encouraging their athlete to participate. So I think it's a growing and learning opportunity for them that they really enjoy.
Join it because it's something where you're going to not only learn how to play a sport, but you're going to learn social skills with different people, knowing that when we go out into the real world, it's not just going to be us, it's going to be other people. And they're no different than us, but it's just showing that we're going to have that type of connection with special education than just gen ed kids.
I don't know, I just think Unified is one of the greatest programs that high schools can offer, and I hope that we are able to have more and more Unified classes that not just cater to Unified Sports, but then cater to all different opportunities and interests. So hopefully our program just continues to grow.
reconvene the meeting. We left off right after superintendent's updates. We will start with governing board member updates. We will start with member Dr. Lunaire.
Thank you, Mr. Chapman. I don't have any specific updates, just want to welcome everybody back to the new school year, hoping that everybody had a restful break. And then I do want to apologize to Dr. Sorensen. I had to step out for a second, but students of the year, congratulations. The employees of the year as well. And my only comments were, I really appreciate that you're thinking outside of the box and tailoring the students' services and needs based on, the specific needs and grade level that they're at in order to close that learning gap. So thank you, Dr. Sorensen.
Member Son?
I don't really have anything in particular as far as board update, but I just like to express my gratitude for this amazing district and its community to allowing us all to sit here before you to serve. And that 2026, we pray and we hope and we will, stand together and move things forward in the right direction together. So thanks again for the opportunities and the support. And we'll just start off the year on a good foot.
Thank you. Member Ortega Romero.
Yeah, since our last meeting, welcome back. Great to start the year again. I can't believe it's been 1 year already. Feels like 5, but I just want to thank everybody for just everything that you guys do. Hopefully, we could start off again with the same goal. Obviously, with higher expectations and look forward to that. So and in terms of since our last meeting, I was able to visit some of the schools and learn more about our current district office. And there's just so much that goes into it. Sometimes you just think like, oh, it's just a building, and it's really not. There's just so much that goes into it. So I did want to learn more about that, and I did. So I do appreciate everyone that took their time to explain things to me, answer, some questions from me that maybe you don't think are very intelligent. But I think that, it's just really important to see through an open lens. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Vice President Del Blasio.
Yeah, shortly before the break, I had the opportunity to visit CLA, and so I want to thank Director Johnson for spending some time with me and sharing all the amazing things that are happening there with our students. Also stopped in at Tolleson, and I want to thank Mr. Perez for your time, for sitting down and sharing with me all of the things that you're doing to address student needs from your student cabinet. And so thank you for your continued hard work for our kiddos. Other than that, I just want to wish everyone, well, first of all, welcome back, but also as we move forward into the weekend, it is going to be MLK weekend, and wish for all of us to reflect on what he stood for. A lot happening in our community and in our state and around the country. Just remember the values that he stood for, and let's do our best to try and reflect those each and every day. Thank you.
Thank you. Also, just once again, welcome back to second semester. Hopefully everyone had a nice couple of weeks off for the holiday, got to spend time with friends and loved ones. Appreciate everyone jumping back in. I didn't hear too many issues first week of school, so it sounds like things are off to a good start. Before the break, as well, I got to visit a few of our schools, Tolleson, Sierra Linda, Westview. So thanks for walking us around, hosting us. Look forward to getting out to the rest of our sites this semester. Looking forward to a solid second semester, finishing out and getting towards our graduation, which seems pretty far away, but it's also right around the corner. So again, thank you everybody for all your work starting in the second semester. And with that, we will move to our public participation. We have a couple of folks filled out the request. I'll go ahead and call you up, and we will be doing a 2-minute clock, Ms. Goodman, for that. And we will start with Kim Owens.
followed. In current language, it's time to level set. A legislative audit was initiated because of concerns of financial management. That should have been a moment for reflection, serious consideration, but instead the decisions that follow further eroded public trust. The community spoke out clearly and repeatedly against the purchase of the Glendale land. Parents, taxpayers, and residents warned the board that the public would not support that decision. We are told there are structural issues preventing expansion of the current facility. Where's the factual evidence? Those concerns were raised publicly and on the record, and they were ignored. The decision lit the fire. It became the tipping point that directly contributed to the bond and override's failure. Voters did not reject students or teachers. They rejected judgment and priorities from this board. They rejected being asked to pay more after watching millions spent on land purchases the community did not want. Now, millions of dollars later, the district is trying to figure out what to do with that property. During the same period, multiple open meeting law complaints have been filed. Whether substantiated or not, their existence further undermines the public confidence and reinforces the perception that transparency and process are being sidelined. 2 board members are facing recall efforts, and now, for more than a year, community members have consistently attended meetings, asked for transparency, fiscal responsibility, and legitimate leadership. These are not isolated events, they are connected. Last night's meeting is case in point. A board member used language that this board used to prevent a community member from attending future board meetings. Such hypocrisy. And the subject of the debate was something that had Superintendent Kayas read the minutes that were posted for approval tonight, he would have
Thank you, Ms.
seen
Owens.
was a
Your 2
motion,
minutes
not
is
a
up.
request.
Your 2 minutes is up. Thank you. Thank you. Your time is up. Thank you. Next speaker is Dave Briggs.
County Board, welcome back. Shame on you. And most importantly, shame on all of us for not being vigilant, for trusting our institutions and their leaders to do the right thing, for the parents and students of this district. The district has not been transparent. In fact, some moves have been downright deceitful, leading those around us to believe one thing is true when it isn't. Truth and transparency are in short supply with this board and administration. This board and superintendency serve the people of the district, stakeholders, if you will. The leaders in this district do not fundamentally understand that they are working with public dollars, and that every one of those public dollars has got to be spent in a way that gives a maximum benefit to taxpayers and accomplishes their educational mission. Well, very few companies in America would last very long if 80% of their product was not proficient. The CEO would be fired and the board removed. Think carefully when you compare yourself to a business. What is the purpose of a governing board? Are you here to create conditions and policies to ensure that all students have the basic skills and knowledge to be successful today and tomorrow? How much time do board members spend understanding how students learn and how teachers teach? Only one of you is an educator, yet you make educational decisions that are not backed by empirical data but anecdotal responses. You know how many new active students are enrolled today? You know how many students dropped last week? You know how many available classrooms are on each campus? You know the failure rates of students in core subjects? Are these issues part of work studies? That's your job, but you don't know what you don't know, so you're not able to ask the hard questions. Have you spent a lot of money on educational technology in the last several years? Why? Did screen time increase achievement or create dependency on more screen time? Thank you.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Adon Murado.
New year, same board. But both of you are going to get recalled. Cursing, and you're still excluding a parent, constituent. All of you can change that. But you choose to stand with the people that don't represent the community. You want to make a change? Stand up. It's too late for these people, but you can make a change. When are you going to step up? They're corrupting you. You could be a great leader. Instead, look at who you're clicking up. Got a guy over here smirking. He's coming up for election in November. Think we're going to elect him? Absolutely not. You'll be fired. You're going to lose your job.
Thank you. Our last speaker is Melissa Grimscheid.
Good evening, President Chapman, Vice President Del Palacio, members of the board, Superintendent Kayes, Ms. Goodman. My name is Melissa Grimscheid, and I proudly serve as the president of the Tolleson Union Education Association. The next time you visit my classroom, I invite you to look. I keep a guidelines for a classroom discussion, both at the front of the room and the back of the room. And I think the most important guideline on there, the one I spend the most time talking to my students about, is one that says own your impact. And so we spend a lot of time talking about their intent versus their impact, and talking about how their word choice may sound okay in their own head, but not necessarily can be translated by another person to mean the same thing. That sometimes their words can be harmful and hurtful, even if they didn't intend them that way. I encourage you that when we are having board meetings, to think about your impact on staff. Not only our current staff, but potential staff. Because I know that when people look at districts and look to move elsewhere, they also look at how the board meetings might run. Because that gives us a good idea of kind of what we need to deal with. We can probably name in my head, I can name several districts that I would never go to because of the things that I know that might happen within the politics of those districts. And so the way that staff are treated when they're standing at this podium has a huge impact on the way that potential staff and current staff might look at their future employment. And so no matter who the staff member is, and I know Superintendent Kayes is your employee, but no matter who the staff is that are standing here at this podium, I encourage you to think about your impact and how your words might affect the rest of the staff that stand behind them. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. That will take us to our first information discussion item, and I will turn this over. I believe Mr. Gabe Martinez is presenting. All right. Mr. Gabe Martinez, our facilities director.
Good evening, President Chapman, governing board members. I'd like to give you guys just a real quick update. I know we had some concerns previously in some previous board meetings regarding some facility issues. I'd like to start off here with our FMX work order system. This is for just a little quick tutorial on how we submit work orders and how our staff is able to log in and submit a work order. Right here, in order for you guys to find the FMX work order system, you guys can go to our district website and find it under employees. Under employees, you'll see under open FMX work order requests. You click on that button, and then on the right side here, you'll see the next screen, which is the login, is the same credentials that you use when you log into your computer every day. Once you click on there, you click on maintenance request, as you see there. And here is the standard work order steps. If you see on the yellow there to your right, these are the standards, these are the requests. All this information needs to be inputted in order for us to move on to the next. You see the timestamp, the request type, and we have little examples on what you actually will go through. There's different, each one, there's a little drop-down box for each section there. An emergency work order, how these are handled, usually the admins will get the requests from their site, from their personnel, from either the teachers or a staff member. if there's an emergency, if there's a water leak. Usually one of the admins or security will contact our facility manager. Once our facility manager, they usually will go down there and assess the situation first. Then once they see the situation, they will contact our technicians. Once the technicians are there, they would assess it, they would fix the repair, and this allows them to resolve the work order here at the bottom. They usually will put down a description and they'll resolve it. With that, that will send the information over to the person who generated the work order on providing them with that update. Closing the work order, this is where it's important for us to update. We can track costs, we can track hours, and we also like to make sure that we put down information on what we did to repair it so we can show that there was a resolution. And this will automatically send it back to the originator. And here is the...
Good evening, everyone. We are here at the Tolleson Union High School campus regarding 2 concerns presented at previous board meetings. So without further ado, let's take a look at them. Our first concern addressed poor internet connection in the Performing Arts Center. Our IT techs created a live test within the PAC using 2 laptops connected to the school's wireless network. The right laptop showcased a strong signal connection when connected to the 5G Wi-Fi service. The strength of that signal is going to be demonstrated on the left laptop, which we'll see now. Our techs conducted an internet speed test in real time, showing what the download and upload speeds are when using your school devices connected to the internet service in the PAC. It tests these speeds for browser speed, video playback, and video calling. These tests are free to perform online and only take a minute or so to complete. Our download speed concluded at over 232 megabits per second, while our upload speed ended at almost 375 megabits per second. This speed test was conducted in the PAC Theater, and now we're going to conduct additional tests in a hallway and a classroom. In the hallway, you'll see that the internet connection remains strong and has a download speed of almost 260 megabits per second, with an upload speed of over 303 megabits per second. And in the classroom, we still have good connection, with over 230 megabits per second for download speed and over 418 megabits per second for upload speed. Please make sure your school devices are connected to the provided internet connection, and this should resolve any issues that were previously faced. Our second concern addressed water damage in a couple of classrooms on campus, specifically 1807 in the 1800 building and 1904 in the 1900 building. Our facility manager was contacted by the administrator, who responded first to assess the situation and determine the cause of the issue. The cause of issue was identified as an HVAC condensation leak. Condensation leaks in classrooms are often caused by clogged or restricted HVAC condensate drain lines. When the drain becomes blocked by algae, debris, or scale buildup, condensate cannot drain properly and instead overflows from the drain pan, dripping into ceiling spaces or classrooms. After identifying the source as an HVAC condensation leak, our facilities manager contacted the HVAC technicians to complete the necessary repairs. The issue was fully resolved within 45 minutes of the initial report. Thank you for addressing these concerns to our district. If your high school campus has any issues you notice, please do not hesitate to contact your principals for future repairs.
And with that, we just want to remind everybody, our FMX work order system is designed for all staff. Anyone can actually use the system, so it's not just designated to certain people there. So with that, any questions?
Thank you, Mr. Martinez. Members, any questions? Yeah.
Thank you for that informative presentation and the expedited process. Just out of curiosity, this system, how it's reported by any staff, how long has this been in place?
I think now it's about a year we've actually been using it. We're starting to see more of an increase in participation, but now we're able to track our work orders. We're able to pull reports and also track to see how long these work orders are staying open. And keep them
Because,
open to closing.
myself, I hear a lot of, concerns from various campuses and how they've been done with, it's been expedited, which is, really happy to hear. Well done, of course, from you and your team. I just don't understand and hearing concerns about how we go about repairs. I see that the system also has dates on it when it's closed out, when it's been filed, and when it's resolved. I don't see any delinquency in it. Where do you think is the problem is? Like, is there any area you feel that we can improve, or anything you think could make it, you know, less concerning for our communities? We had students, we had parents, we had community members coming up, making a lot of statements that is so confusing and contradicting. And we had to go back to look at those orders and to, ask questions to our staffs and our superintendent, and you getting back to us with the answers. I mean, it seems kosher. It just seems kosher. Is there any else that you think we can do to, bring more awareness about how we go about resolving these concerns from various campuses?
I think at the beginning when we transitioned into FMX, the issue was training our staff and getting everybody on board. Now that we see that people are, the more you use it, the easier you're able to submit a work order. Those that, I guess different sites have different ways of submitting work orders. Like I said, it is designed for all staff to have an access to it. But I think depending on the sites, they might designate one or two people to input the work order, but then we also rely on our facility managers to make sure they submit the work orders if they are called directly from any administrator and staff.
Were there a training involved in having them fill out these forms?
Yes.
And
Yes,
when
we did
did
have
that
training.
take place?
That took place at the early stage when we transitioned into the FMX. We did get training. All our staff have been trained, our technicians, our facility managers. And then for those that need training, I know we've had a couple of trainings for an admin meetings. We had some of our staff go in there and train staff. We have a couple people that will train. If we need additional training at any of the sites, we'll be more than welcome to provide that.
Now, can you give me a date, a month when this happened?
I mean, I would say it's been about a year or so.
Okay, so we
Yeah.
can say it was January of 2025.
Sure.
And since then, everything has gone smoothly. Are there any particular staff members who are not going through that process since the training?
No, I wouldn't say there's no particular staff members. Like I said, I think it's more if we get more participation and the more they use it, the more comfortable they're going to get.
Okay, so do you get requests for repair, concerns with facilities, leaks, whatever the case may be, outside of the system?
Yes, yes.
And how are you-
Particularly on like an emergency, they will automatically call the facility manager so we can address that issue. If there is another item that needs to be addressed, they will contact the facility manager, but they usually will follow up with the work order.
Right. So when that emergency occur, that will eventually be reflected in this system.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
you're welcome.
Well done.
Members, any other questions? All right. Thank you, Mr. Martinez.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. All right. Takes us to our consent agenda. I will motion to approve the consent agenda. Do I have a second? All right. Member Dr. Lunanera.
No.
Member Sun. Member Ortega Romero.
Yes.
Vice President Del Palacio.
Yes.
And I vote yes, that motion carries. And that takes us to our action item, discussion consideration for GMP. Had a lengthy conversation last night on several different options. I think it was a productive conversation. So again, want to thank everyone that's been involved with discussing options, providing feedback for staff needs, support needs in regards to various office complexes. So just based off that and some of the conversation we had last night, I'll make a motion on an option we can discuss to approve the GMP with two caveats. One that, well, I'm making my motion. My motion to approve the GMP with two caveats. One, that the board and superintendent structure stay here in Tolleson in this building. And the second one is that the third floor not be built out in its entirety, I believe with the exception of the IT. Was one of the things that we said we needed over there as far as having two server places. So I'll make that motion to begin some conversation. Is there a second? All right, is there a conversation?
No, it's okay. I just want to piggyback your statement that yesterday discussion work study was very, very productive, although it does get heated, but it's so important that we have these kind of conversation publicly and to have all board members input. So I do appreciate I want to thank our board president for even approving the work study that was requested. So just want to share my gratitude.
Any, yes, Member Lerner.
Yeah, I have concerns about the third level that's not going to be built out aside from the IT. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it is 90 square feet. Why would we be paying for a space that we're not going to be utilizing, and instead of just canceling the third floor and moving forward with placing IT in another location?
Yeah, I throw it over Superintendent Kayes real quick, but part of the conversation last night was we have the permitting and a few other things in place for the project with the city already. So keeping the building as is would allow us to fall under those permits and the costs that were already paid for those permits. And then down the road, if there's needs for expansion, we're always needing training spaces, things like that. You know, if we create additional partnerships, that space would still be available. But changing the structure, I believe, would cause some issues with some of the stuff we've already have in place. Is there anything else you wanted to clarify on that?
Yes, President Chapman, good recap of a couple of the items that we discussed in yesterday's study session as we reviewed all this and discussed why we would still build out the third floor. The permitting, we would move to, if we don't finish the building as the building is designed, we will have to move from the 2018 permitting rules to 2024, which is going to cause an impact on our HVAC system and a couple of other areas as we update that system. Additionally, as you mentioned, the room for future growth, and we also have an expiring GMP that expires tomorrow, since we have been in this discussion for some time, and our contractor would have to go back out to all the subcontractors and rebid that GMP to make a change that significant. So when you look at the offsets, yes, it seemed wiser to go ahead and build out that third floor. We discussed in yesterday's study session, for those that were there, the need also for training space, and how this would also be a training center where we'd be able to add additional conference rooms and be able to conduct some district trainings.
And then additionally, I know we couldn't get those numbers for today because it would be a work in progress, but McCarthy had mentioned obviously there would be savings for not fully building out the third floor, so there will be savings on the project. So again, just, for folks in the audience, folks watching, GMP is guaranteed maximum price. It doesn't mean that's everything we're going to spend. That's just how much it can cost in total. So there will be savings on the project, not building out the third floor. Members, any additional questions? Yes, Vice President Del
No, I don't have any questions. Just a comment on yesterday's discussion. Even today, I just think that this is a very healthy compromise. We're keeping our district office here in Tolleson, then we're also ensuring our staff have the resources, or other larger departments have the resources they need to be able to operate and work in a space that's more efficient and effective when it comes to meeting the needs of our students. And so what a healthy this compromise on honoring what the community says in terms of keeping a district office here, but then still allowing for space for all the growth that we have. The projections that were shared yesterday with 2027 and the staffing projections, it's evident that we're going to need that space. We obviously need it now. So that's it.
All right. Hearing no further discussion, Ms. Goodman. There you go. All right. All right. Go ahead and start the roll call. I will vote yes. Vice President Del Palacio.
Yes.
Member Ortega Romero.
Abstain.
Member Sutton,
Yes.
and Member Dr. Luna Nahara. All right, thank you, everyone. That motion carries. And that takes us to requests for future agenda items. If there's any requests, you can share them now, or you can send them over to Superintendent Kayas. And with that, we have our future meetings. Next one is January 27th. With that, I will make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a?
Wait, we need to have some, you need to ask the board what we would like to request.
Oh, I didn't hear anything. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. It's that time of the year, and I would like to request a discussion and possible action on the superintendent's evaluation. So if we could put that as a discussion to have a work study, so all board members can be together to reevaluate our superintendent's yearly evaluation. I would also like to request that we look at our budgeting with our cabinet members and traveling, conference, as well as any kind of stipend for travel expenses, mileage, and how that is about. So if we could put that in. And another item request for the next agenda will be the spreadsheet that should be attached on the agenda of to-do lists of all board members that is requesting items to be put on the future agenda so that the public knows the to-do list on all 5 board members. Another request to be placed in the next meeting is the policy that board members, any board members can request to be placed on the agenda without the 10-day prerequisite. And that I am open for a work study discussion and impossible to take a motion on. Thank you.
Yes, and President Chapman, Ms. Goodman did inform me, the spreadsheet is attached of the items that we show for future requests. It is attached in board docs when you look in board docs.
Thank you for that. I did request it right before this meeting, and it was a no-go based on your response. That's why it was added. As of that timeline till now, that was not updated, but thank you for that update. But I would still like to continue to request for the next agenda item to have a discussion over the to-do list and how that should be constructed and why we're doing that so that the public is aware of the purpose and the function of our requests among the 5 board members. Thank you.
With that, I will make a motion to adjourn. Do I have a second? All right. Ms. Goodman? All right. Member Dr. Luna Nahara? Member Sutton? Yes. Member Ortega Romero?
Yes.
Member Del Palacio?
Yes.
I vote yes. We are adjourned. Thank you, everybody. Have a good rest of your evening.